It's been 5 years since Canada was upended by the claim that 215 children's graves had been found outside the former site of the Kamloops Indian Residential School. The area in which the graves were said to lie is known as the Apple Orchard, and it may sit right atop the site of a septic field installed in the 1920s. The blueprints and engineer's report for the septic system are held within the archives of the National Centre for Truth and Reconciliation. They're digitized. Anybody can access them. It's the same deal with the 1937 report detailing an upgrade to the system. And that original engineer's report specifies that the terminus of the septic system is a disposal bed. It's a series of clay pipes running in an east-west direction at a depth of 3 feet 6 inches. The suspected graves are located in rows going from east to west. They're also unusually shallow for graves, about 3 feet deep. Both those details come from a July 2021 press conference hosted by Kamloops Tissaquetum, formerly the Kamloops Indian Band. They're the First Nation on whose territory the Kamloops Indian Residential School now rests. Sarah Bolia did the ground-penetrating radar survey that yielded the alleged graves. She explained their shallow depth as being because they were probably dug in winter when the ground was hard, and also because children dug them. And she made a point of noting that they were found in rows going from east to west, which Bolia called evidence that they were consistent with Christian burial traditions. The machine used in the survey is the LMX 200. And this is your base-level ground-penetrating radar system. If you read its promotional materials, it's marketed to utilities and municipal governments as a tool to locate buried pipes. If you're doing forensic work, you usually get something a bit more advanced. At the very least, you're going to need 3D capabilities. Because the data for the LMX 200 looks like this. This is from a slide presentation compiled by Sarah Bolia. As you can see, the LMX 200 is kind of like a big stud finder. Just like a stud finder can identify something in your wall but won't be able to tell you what it is, all the LMX 200 can do is find anomalies, things in the ground that are unlike the dirt around it. But you can't tell from this image that it's a grave. It could be anything, which is why any expert in ground-penetrating radar will tell you you can't say that an anomaly is a grave or even a potential grave before you've dug it up. And I should mention that Bolia has already said that the initial survey miscounted the number of suspected graves. The survey site has had a series of archaeological digs on it. There's been indigenous land use in the area for hundreds, if not thousands of years, so throughout the 1990s and early 2000s, a team from Simon Fraser University would go to the site, dig test pits, and sift through it for bone tools and evidence of ancient campfires. At that July 2021 press conference, Bolia said she'd subsequently been made aware of these digs and thus had ruled out 15 of the suspected graves. The implication being that the 215 unmarked graves announced a few weeks prior, the 215 mourned in countless solidarity statements, memorials, and in some cases, statue and church desecrations, at least 15 of them were just false positives from archaeological test pits.